Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. US President Biden hosted William Ruto today at the White House. It was an event captured live by most of the top American media houses. The interesting bit about it, as Biden was speaking, his speech was live. When William Ruto was speaking, most of these media houses except CNN, they were either taking breaks or not reporting his speech live. In fact, most of them were commenting as he spoke. They were not capturing live his speech except for CNN. And one of our very own here, Larry Madowo, a CNN correspondent, noticed that and taking to his X account, had this to say. Larry Madowo, most American cable news networks cut away as President Ruto started speaking at the White House, except CNN International. So when William Ruto was speaking, they were either taking breaks or not capturing his speech live. They were commenting. Have a look at that video as shared out by Larry Madowo.
The President and First Lady of Kenya are arriving now. The Bidens are out there. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
Today.
All right, and that's President Biden at the White House with the state visit for the President of Kenya. We will take a quick break. Be right back.
For all Americans, for all Kenyans, God bless our partnership, and may God bless our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Distinguished guests, the President of the Republic.
And so that is President of Kenya, William Ruto, taking over the podium here as President Biden welcomes him to the White House. There will be we used to call it 2 and 2. Two questions aside at a press conference a little bit later today, which I know that then, Martha, you'll have on your show.
Yeah,
whatever happens out of that.
Around 2:30ish, I think.
All right, we'll get to this too.
We're keeping an eye on the White House, where President Biden is speaking now with the President of Kenya as well, ahead of their joint press conference later today. A state dinner tonight. We'll bring you any highlights from these remarks. But first, Donald Trump's case in the court of public opinion about President Biden just spoke at the arrival ceremony for Kenyan President William Ruto's state visit. Here's President Biden on the U.S. working with Kenya to fight terrorism.
The past is our proof that we are stronger and the world is safer when Kenya and the United States work together.
The two presidents are set to hold a joint press conference this afternoon. And after that, we're just learning two other special visitors to the White House. Both President Obama and President Clinton will attend a reception for President Ruto and his family ahead of tonight's state dinner.
Distinguished guests, the President of the Republic of Kenya.
Thank you. President Joe Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, Madam Vice President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Jambo. Let me take this opportunity in a very special way to bring you warm greetings from the people, the government of Kenya, and your brothers and sisters across the African continent.
That's exactly what happened as William Ruto was speaking. So it's very clear that some of the top media houses in the United States of America saw no need of airing William Ruto live speaking, and I believe that was deliberate. If you look at media houses such as Fox News, it's alleged that they're leaning towards the Republicans. CNN is alleged to be leaning towards the Democrats. Biden is a Democrat, and the government is a Democratic government. And that can explain why CNN was airing Ruto live as he spoke, while these other media houses were cutting his speeches or taking breaks. If you look at what is currently happening, it's not America per se that is happy with Ruto. And we also saw that the Speaker of the Congress, Mike Johnson, also rejected a request by some Democrat lawmakers for Ruto to address a joint session of the Congress. But one thing that is for sure, if you look at William Ruto's integrity as Kenya's president, I'm tempted to fully agree with the position being taken by the Republicans if at all they have got a hand in what has been happening. We saw the Republican Speaker Mike Johnson denying William Ruto a chance to speak at that joint session of the Congress, and a whopping majority of Kenyans supported that simply because William Ruto is failing badly back here in the country. And now if all these other media stations also cut when he was speaking or took breaks when he was speaking, then I also support that, because again, William Ruto is not representing the interest of Kenyans. In fact, I won't be wrong to say William Ruto is only representing the interests of Biden and some Western superpowers. And William Ruto supporters, upon seeing him at the White House making that address, they were happy, and online I'm seeing they're saying all sorts of benefits Kenya has gotten as a result of that. I'm seeing some saying Kenya's gotten this money for this, they have gotten this, they have gotten this. But now just look at the calibers running this government. Look at the integrity of the individuals running this government. Even if Kenya was to get some goodies from America, all those goodies will be in the hands of these crooks. So Kenya should not actually celebrate those goodies. These goodies at the end of the day will be under the management of William Ruto and his team. And from what we have seen, in the 2 years of Ruto's rule, there are no men and women of integrity in this government, starting from top to bottom. If there are funds the United States of America is releasing to Kenya, those funds, in my honest opinion, will be looted. They will only end up benefiting a few individuals in Kenya Kwanza government. And I don't know why Biden, with all the intelligence America has, cannot see clearly what this government has been doing for about 2 years it has been in power. According to Auditor General's report, we've been losing a third of our national budget to corruption. In Kenya Kwanza government, that figure is going up. So if at all there is any aid that US is giving to Kenya, which I know is not free money, Kenya will have to repay. I don't think those funds will benefit Kenya or Kenyans in any way. It will end up being looted. How I just wish Kenya had the right leaders at this moment in time. Leaders who have got the best interest of the people at hand. And let me remind you of some words of wisdom here. If one day you hear the Europeans press me, know that I have betrayed you. Samora Machel, former president of Mozambique. Machel made those remarks about 40 years ago. Ruto was not the president, Biden was not the president. But these early African leaders, they had a vision for Africa and for their countries. And Samora Machel's words are actually coming true in Kenya in 2024. Ruto is a perfect example of a leader who has allowed himself to be used by the West. Look at all the policies Ruto's government has been pushing. All these are Western policies. And as Ruto's government pushes these policies, Kenyans are ending up suffering. So as the West is pressing William Ruto, Kenyans are clearly being betrayed by the person they expected was going to have their best interest at heart. Someone calling himself the Kenyan president. So it's actually true that if you see the West pressing a leader, the way Ruto is now being pressed, then it's very clear he has betrayed Kenyans. And the earlier Kenyans realized that, the better. The mere fact that they were cutting William Ruto as he spoke confirms that they're not taking him seriously. They see him as just another disparate soul who wants recognition or who wants to be identified for being close to the world superpowers. That's exactly what I'm seeing here. And that's why most definitely he was denied that chance to speak at the joint session of the Congress. And that's also the reason why even Taylor Perry actually snubbed his meeting. Ruto had hyped he's going to Taylor Perry's studio, but Taylor Perry actually skipped, gave that meeting a wide berth. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.